Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. After a string of 3 pretty awful arenas, I'm out for blood. I'm starting off 1-1, but I feel pretty good. I really do believe this deck is a good deck. You know, I'm prepared to eat crow if I end up getting smashed in the next 2 games, leading to like a 12-minute video, and you're already laughing because you see the timestamp. If that's what happens, then so be it. But I really do think the deck is good. There was one priest who just had exactly what he needed when he needed it, which is often how it goes in Hearthstone, and he beat us, and then we just smashed a warrior to pieces. So here we're actually drawing our creatures, which is nice. I'm going to make a bit of an unorthodox decision. I'm just going to send back the Assassinate and keep everything else, because there's not that many creatures in this deck, it seems. Ah, Cold Light Oracle. I was wondering when I'd see you, you little piece of crap trash. Yeah, that's great. We'll just go ahead and pretend that card doesn't exist. I mean, in theory, it's playable. You play a 2/2 for 3 mana, and then you both get 2 cards. So it's like no one's getting ahead of anybody. But the problem is that it's a 2/2 for 3 mana. I think that's really the issue there. All right, we can coin out a Harvest Golem, or play an Engineer. And I'm actually going to do something crazy. I'm going to coin out the Golem. And I might think, Boris, why would you do that when you have a perfectly reasonable alternative play? Especially because the coin triggers off a Violet Teacher and gives you a 1/1. Well, the reason is that if I have the Golem in play and he plays a 3 toughness creature, Shadowstone Cleric on the Golem is really, really good, and it'll kill that creature. If he innervates for a 5 mana creature, then suddenly... Oh, geez, wow. Is he getting crystals? He's getting crystals. Oh, geez, that was some epic ramp here. Innervate into Nourish. Well, my little gambit failed. The Novice Engineer would have been just fine here. Wow, this could actually be really bad. So I'm ahead on cards, but that is a little bit illusory, I suppose. Because, he's way ahead on mana. It's insane. Because he's the first player, too. Look, he's got 6 mana to my 3. So I'm responding to his 6 mana play with a 4 mana play. And, you know, all he needs is one good card, and he's good. He's playing a Wrath to kill the Ghoul. He respects the Ghoul. Smart man. What else has he got? Well, all things considered, that's not really the most impressive thing. So, I could play Shattered Sun Cleric and run the Golem into the Scarlet Crusader, popping the Divine Shield. I think a much better play is to just Dagger, pop the Divine Shield, and then use the Golem to kill it, let the Golem spawn back. But then, crap, then the hero ability finishes off the Golem. But then again, if he's spending 2 of his 7 mana just killing off my 2/1 Golem, I'm fine with that. Yeah, we'll just play a card. We'll get a card here first, see what we get. Raid Leader doesn't help me, sadly. We'll do this, and we'll do that. So we have massive card advantage, but he's way ahead on mana, so he can start dropping big things. I mulligan my Assassinate. Thankfully, I top-decked it. I mean, I didn't know that my opponent was going to innervate into Nourish. That's not something I'm going to play around. But the Assassinate's really good, because if he does play like an Ironbark Protector, assassinating it would be, you know, pretty sweet. Wow, he's just not playing anything big. He's gonna panda that back before it can be called. That deserves a well played. That was a good move.
Well played.
Okay, so do I assassinate this thing? Or do I use this Raid Leader? I can hit for 3. I shatter some Cleric. Can't quite deal with this thing. I'm gonna use the Dark Iron Dwarf, even though it's a bit unfortunate because it doesn't use up all my mana. I think it's worth getting the thing off the board without spending my Assassinate. So I'm at 20 health. It's about as low as I want to get against Druid. And now my card advantage is starting to help me because I can actually play more of these cards that I have. He's going to spend almost his whole turn Starfiring. That does give him a card back. He kills a creature and draws a card. And he's just shape-shifting up. Okay. So he's still not really doing anything. What I'd like to do is use up all my mana, so I'm going to play Raid Leader. And I'm going to buff it with Shattered Sun Cleric. That'll save it from a Starfall. So I've got a decent board presence here. If he plays like an Ironbark Protector or some kind of a Legendary or something, I've got the Assassinate. Knife Juggler. Man, for someone who innervated into Nourish, he keeps playing stuff that's not all that expensive.
Someone call for
Voodoo Doctor. And a Wild Growth. I think that's a mistake. Oh god, I think this person's new. So he's at 9 mana and he played Wild Growth to go up to 10 mana, but that's pointless because he was going to get up to 10 mana next turn anyway. Now, if you're at 10 mana and you play Wild Growth, you get an extra card, so you should have definitely waited for that. Okay, well, let's see. I think now I can just clear out his board. I wish I had a way of dealing with the Sen'jin. I could, of course, hit it with a dagger and then use the Shattered Sun Cleric. Alright, we'll backstab this. That seems like a decent move. I don't really want to give him any cards. I could assassinate this thing. You know, I'm just going to assassinate it. The reason is he had like 8 mana, then 9 mana, and played nothing big. If he plays something big now, well then I'll just 2-for-1 myself and kill it. Iron Rock Protector, I have 7 damage. It's not quite enough. Hopefully I'll draw a Shiv or another backstab and that'll help me out. But if he hasn't had anything big so far, I'm not going to play around him having anything big now. And I've actually got kind of my end game here. Violet Teacher and the Smith. So he continues to play small stuff. And Shapeshift. Well, he is 17 turns away from killing me with Shapeshift, so I feel it alright. He's, I would say, 6 turns to the point where I would, feel worried about him being able to actually burn me out with like a Starfire and a swipe or something. Okay, well, let's go ahead and think here. However I kill this Acolyte, he can shapeshift and kill the creature. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Shattered Sun Cleric, even though it means I'm doing a little bit less damage to him. Because I want him to shapeshift and kill this and keep this buffer. So how do I use up all my mana? Well, I think the way to do it is like this, this, attack. I could conceal, which is an interesting proposition. Save my Shattered Sun Cleric. But if he has Starfall, it'll die anyway. So I'm just going to make a dagger. I'm going to let him shapeshift and kill the Shattered Sun Cleric if he wants.
I concede.
Well, that was a funny game. So on like turn 3, he played Innervate for 2 mana, and then he used the 5 mana to cast a Nourish for 2 mana crystals. So he ramped up, but then he never got anything big. So I think he misdrafted. I mean, as a druid, he should have had some big stuff. It's possible he just had a terrible draw the way that I did it in my first game, but it's always possible. But, I mean, it was another possibility to just Innervate into Nourish and draw 3 cards. You lose 1 card for the Innervate and 1 card for the Nourish, but you end up netting a card because you drew 3 cards total. Raxel, oh, I played against this warrior, I think. Can't remember if he was good or not. Ah, here's a good situation. So I'm going to mulligan the Corlett Oracle and simply hope I never see it again. It's actually great that it was in my opening hand, because I believe you can't get back the card you just mulliganed. I mean, obviously you can draw it again on the start of the next turn, but I don't think you can get it back right away, which is good. And we're a second, which is a nice boon as well, because we can coin out this Defias Ringleader here. If my opponent has a Fiery War Axe, he can suck a big ding-dong, because that 1/2 mana card will have to eat both of these guys, and I can play Novice Engineer, which I also don't care if it dies to a Fiery War Axe, because it's dinky, and because it drew me a card. Now, turn 3 got nothing at the moment, but turn 4 I wouldn't mind picking something up with this bandit if it's still around. Alright, he's got the Fiery War Axe. Fair enough, sir, fair enough. I will happily draw a card. Hit and swing.
Job's done.
Questing Adventure is not the greatest. I don't have any of my cheap spells here. So remember that game against the Priest, the first game of this arena where I had like nothing but spells? Like that shouldn't really be how this deck goes. I did do a pretty decent job of drafting creatures. So now he can kill off this other bandit, which is fine. The Novice Engineer, unfortunately, even buffed by the Shattered Sun Cleric, doesn't kill a lot of things. Armorsmith, interesting. Huh. He's making an interesting move here. He's killing off my Novice Engineer, and the reason for that is that the Defias Bandit will die to the Armorsmith. Well, that makes my life easy. We'll just buff that thing. And think. So if I attack the Armorsmith right now, it'll be a 1/1, and then it can kill this guy off on my next turn. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to actually attack past. First of all, 3 damage is a pretty significant amount of damage, and second of all, now if the Armorsmith attacks into the Bandit, then the dagger will be able to finish it off. He's actually going to trade a Kor'kon Elite for my Bandit. Wow, well, I'll take that. That is something I'm just fine with. He's going to hit my Shattered Sun Cleric. Fair enough. So I can't backstab this because it's damaged. If I dagger up, I'm going to have a really unimpressive turn. I think what I'm actually going to do is just do this. And think. Either I play the Questing Adventure, hope that my opponent doesn't have Cleave, and then try to grow it up next turn. Or I can panda this back. And I'm actually going to panda this back because I do not want to hope that my opponent doesn't have Cleave. I've had enough of hoping my opponent doesn't have Spell X. It doesn't seem to work out for me all that often. So what we're going to do instead is next turn we'll content ourselves with playing Shattersun Cleric, making this a 6/5, and then making another dagger, probably. What spell could I draw that might actually make me play the Questing Adventure instead? I could draw a Conceal, I suppose. Then my opponent could play a creature with 2 toughness, unlikely at 5 mana, but possible. I play the Questing Adventure, I backstab something, and then I play Conceal. This is the Questing Adventure becomes a 4/4, and it's stealthy, and I also got to hit with the panda. So, maybe I'll do that. I could play a 5/5. God, I wish this were a Wind Fury Harpy. I can't believe it, how often I'm wishing this were a Wind Fury Harpy, but, man. Maybe that is what it should have been. Oh, Kor'kon Elite, pretty good. The 4 toughness, man, that is a problem. Kor'kon Elites, though, they've just been trading. They haven't been, like, doing anything super great. So what we'll do here is I'm going to play Questing Adventure.
I don't have enough mana.
Do I really... Oh, I thought I had 6 mana for some reason. Well, we'll make the dagger and pretend that was what we intended to do. So we're gonna just see if my opponent has removal here. He needs like a weapon, or I mean, a warrior, or like a slam, I guess, just to kill that thing off. Otherwise, he's gonna be in trouble. A whirlwind, I guess, at 1 mana will also kill that thing, thanks to the Azure Drake, which he has, and that's absolutely the correct play. Funnily enough, backstab now doesn't kill this Azure Drake. But Perdition's Blade does. Ah, jeez, this is awkward. I can't do anything. Man, my deck might not be functioning very well. Okay. So if I combo out Perdition's Blade, which I do have 6 mana now, yeah, maybe last turn I should have just, what, 5 mana? I should have kept the Questing Adventure. Instead of making this useless dagger, I could have just played a Frostwolf Warlord. It would have been a 4/4. And then now I could play Questing Adventure, combo Perdition's Blade. Kill off the Azure Drake. I'd have to hit it as well, because he wouldn't have played Whirlwind then. All sorts of things. All sorts of things. Okay, balls. I think I'm going to swing. Waste a Shattered Sun Cleric.
You must cleanse the Sunwell.
And use a combo on the Perdition's Blade to shoot down the Azure Drake. So now what I might do... maybe. I mean, it's kind of a touchy thing, but if you play something a little... Are you kidding me? Jesus! What is up with people? Are people, like, just grabbing every ooze they see, no matter what? Is that the story? Is that what people are doing? Oh, god damn it. And, of course, he has a Fiery War Axe. Well, I'm not exactly in bad shape. Like, he's got just 3 cards here. It's my 6. But, Jesus Christ. What is going on? Alright, we'll have to backstab this. Unfortunately, there's nothing for me to kidnap, so I'm not going to play that. I can make a 4/4 for 5 mana. I wish this were a Wind Fury Harpy, 2nd time. I'm going to make it an Assassin's Blade. Now, I don't want to hit warriors with this thing, per se, because warriors have armor, so this is only dealing 1 damage a turn net when you swing it at a warrior, so it doesn't seem that great to me to use it that way. We'll just hold on to it. It's like it hits as hard as a Fiery War Axe, but it has, 2 extra durability. So you're paying 3 extra mana for 2 extra durability compared to a Fiery War Axe.
Truth is my
Sunwalker. Well, Assassinate is very good at taking care of that. So is the Kidnapper. Ah, I'm 1 mana short. This plus Kidnapper is 9 mana. I need to get like a 2 mana thing. Well, we'll see if I get a good top deck or not. I would actually prefer to kidnap this. Although the Kidnapper actually dies to a Fiery War Axe, which is so sad, but... Oh god, it dies to a Fiery War Axe. I don't think I can actually stomach that. I think I will just play Cold Light Oracle and see what I get. Cold Light Oracle and Frostwolf Warlord and call it a day. Or just assassinate this and Cold Light Oracle. I don't know. Heroic Strike. What is he? What? Well, seeing some interesting decisions here. I wouldn't have done that. I mean, you're using up removal and your axe here. I don't know. Okay. So this plus Assassinate is what I want to do, but it's 9 mana, sadly. Well, now, though, I wouldn't mind kidnapping that, but I can't. I'm in 1 mana short. Jesus. Right, we'll play the Cold Light Oracle. And we'll assassinate this. I'm gonna pass the turn. Okay, so now I have a deadly poison, so I can actually trigger Kidnapper, and he has no more fiery war axe here. So great. That was most of his mana. 5 out of 9.
Do you need a blessing?
Young Priestess, perfect. Okay, so that's just gonna get totally wasted. And so now if I put deadly poison on this, make this a 5/4, I actually would be okay with swinging that at his face. So yeah, we'll just kidnap away here, I think. Deadly poison. Triggers combo. Send this back to his hand. And do I keep the creature on the board, or do I... I'm just going to hit this thing. It is a bit of a waste, I suppose, but... I think the creature on the board is, you know... in total, like, I wasted, you know... By hitting with the Cold Oracle instead of the Assassin's Blade, I dealt 3 less damage, but I think this is actually, in the end result, going to be more damage. Alright, the Fen Creeper is actually kind of annoyingly good, because I have 2 ways to deal 5 damage, but no way to deal 6 without throwing this thing away. And there's a Flesh-Eating Ghoul for good measure. Well, I could draw a good card. There's plenty of good cards for me to draw still. We'll see what I get. That is not a good card. Ah, Jesus. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Throw these creatures away for the Fen Creeper. Okay. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this.
Come here.
Here we go.
I'm going to swing at my opponent's face. So this is still 10 damage here, and I've got 8 damage here, which is a lot of damage. With an Execute or some other kind of help, the Flesh-Eating Ghoul could trade against the Frostwolf Warlord. That leaves me with these 2 cards, though.
Back to work.
Okay, that's not quite enough to kill the Frostwolf Warlord yet. Rampage. Wow. Well, that's a lot of effort he just expended to trade. Granted, he still has 6 mana. He could still do something really good here. We'll see. And Master. It's not that great. Well, even though the Cold Oracle gave us both some cards, I find myself now with card advantage against my opponent once more. So we'll take the slow road here. We'll just trade things off. And I'm going to play this and a Violet Teacher. Why not the Gurubashi Berserker, you ask? Because it dies to Stampeding Kodo. And yes, I have had that happen. So I'd like to wait until I get like a Shiv or something, so I can actually Shiv this thing right after I play it and get out of that problem. Of course, then an Execute will kill it. Maybe there's just no hope. There's no winning. The Ogre's pretty good, sadly. Even with the Raid Leader, it's just not quite good enough. I could try to race, which is an interesting proposition. I think I'm going to try to race.
Here we go.
Because I got the Conceal.
I'm ready to learn.
So with the Raid Leader, this will not die to a Stampeding Kodo. Stampeding Kodo will either hit the student or the Raid Leader himself. I've got a lot of damage here. 9, 11, 14, and 16, which is more than enough, so he needs a taunt or something or other. He got the Arcanite Reaper, and I'm dead next turn. Good thing I get to kill him before I die. That was a bit of a tight game, but card advantage won it. Just as a couple of other times I've said that my opponent won just because he had cards, that time I won because I had cards. So, props on the early game, getting that card advantage, and then turning it into a win in the end game. So, if there's one thing that I think is educational for everyone from this video, it is that Conceal is a good card. Now, I'm sure there's some people watching this being like, duh, Boris, Conceal is a good card. What are you going to say next? That Backstab is a good card, or that big creatures are good? Come on, you idiot. But I didn't know that. I mean, I played Arena, you know, I was a good player for a while, and there was a while when I just didn't really take Conceal. It just didn't seem that good to me. It seemed really conditional. I dismissed it as a constructed card. But it's good. Even when you're not, you know, making miracle questing adventures or mana worms or Edwin Van Cleefs, it's still great. Okay, well, this is an interesting situation because I'm first, so obviously no coin for this. However, I do have Backstab, which is almost as good. So if she plays a mana worm, that just blows acid. But if she coins into like a 2-drop that has 2 toughness, I get off to a really great start with Backstab and then the Ringleader. Then she has to waste 2 mana killing off the Bandit, and I've still got the 2/2. So we'll see what the coin is. Well, no Mana Worm, it looks like. That's nice. If she had a Mana Worm, she'd have coined after playing the Mana Worm, because the coin actually triggers the Mana Worm. So this is what I'm talking about. Ah, Backstab. So freaking good.
This is our town.
Rogues being ridiculous, like rogues do. So now she's gonna probably kill this off. Not a sure thing, but probably. And on my next turn, I'm gonna just dagger up and make a deadly poison. Yes, if my opponent plays an ooze, then that sucks. But I really just, call me crazy, I just don't really want to play around ooze. I don't want to like do nothing on my turn, just to like avoid the potential of an ooze. So whatever. If she has the ooze, she has the ooze. That's what she has, but I feel like it's worth it on turn 3 to just dagger up and deadly poison. Now, all that changes if, you know, I draw a 3-drop like a Flesh and Ghoul or something. Cold Light Oracle, not a 3-drop. All right, now I am going to do something kind of interesting. I'm actually going to hit this with my dagger. Now you might think, well, Boris, why not hit with this Bandit? Because I mean, this Bandit's on borrowed time. Thing is, we're still early in the game. If my opponent spends 2/3 of her mana, which is basically her entire turn, to kill this Bandit, I'm okay with that. So an almost dead creature is still better than a dead creature. So don't entirely dismiss cards that, you know, the mage can kill off with their hero ability. Now, if we were on turn 9, I juice the Bandit,
What to do?
because at that point the 2 mana probably doesn't even matter. So yeah, then I'd kill the Bandit. But here I think it was worth it to just use my removal spell. So next turn I've got a good play, the Violet Teacher. The Cold Light Oracle, I might actually end up playing that somewhat soon here because I had really cheap spells. Backstab, Deadly Poison, the Ringleader, and then the Conceal is also quite cheap. I might just run out of cards, we'll see. Backstab, well that's nice to know. Swing, and I'm not going to throw away my dagger at her face yet. She clearly would have played the ooze if she had one, so no oozes yet, barring top decks. And I would like to get a kill. Alright, the Water Elemental is really annoying because Backstab plus this thing doesn't quite kill it, rather tragically. Well, this plus the Defiance Ringleader will kill that. So yeah, we'll go for it. I'm playing into Stampeding Kodo, but I really don't have any alternative.
Looking at me.
Backstab only takes this down to 4. Yep.
You looking at me.
Here we go.
But what am I doing? Oh, Jesus. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Mistakes were made.
We're just gonna... I don't know what I'm doing. What was I thinking? Was I thinking about... Oh, I would have had to use Backstab to kill that thing off. Right. So I threw that guy away for nothing because he was at 3 health. Well, I guess now the Gurubashi's threatening to kill it. What? I don't know. Yeah, gosh, 6 health. The moral of the story is that Water Elemental is a damn good card because it has 6 health. The end. Okay. So if she had a Stampeding Kodo, I imagine she would have Windmill Slammed it onto the board already to kill the Gurubashi Berserker and subsequently win the game. Since she doesn't have it, I might be okay. I could actually make a pretty cool play next turn. I could Gurubashi into that, potentially, and then get enraged, swing with the Violet Teacher, and then Conceal, which is kind of nifty. She has 6 cards and she's a mage, so the odds of her having a fireball or a polymorph or something are pretty darn high.
I wonder.
These creatures, I guess, do have a lot of toughness. It's a little bit much for the water elemental to chew. Maybe she has like an arcane explosion and she could use it plus hero ability plus the water elemental to kill off my violet teacher, but she's afraid to because it will enrage the Gorobashi. Frostbolt. Ah, I see. So it's a risky move there, frostbolting that thing. Oh no, she's just going to kill it off. I see. So she used the water elemental and the frostbolt to kill it, which is not the end of the world because, you know, after all, I did a little bit of 2-for-1ing myself. Alright, we're going to play this thing. I mean, I don't have anything else to do that's really remotely valuable, so we'll just play it. Hope that my stuff is better than her stuff. So I'm going to make a little bit of a risky play. I'm going to play the Murloc Tidehunter right now, and I'm going to conceal. So the reason I say this is risky is that a blizzard or an arcane explosion would pretty much wreck my day, kill off all this stuff. But if she doesn't have that, then next turn this is going to be a beast. It's going to be a 9/9, so she'll need a polymorph to deal with it. Crap, that looks like a spell. It looks like a spell. I don't like how it looks, because it looks like a spell.
What to do?
She's holding out this blizzard here. Oh no! Oh, she can still play blizzard. I got some terrible deja vu just now. God damn it! She had the blizzard. Ah, fuck. I wish this were a Wind Fury Harpy. Jesus. This would have been better if it were Wind Fury Harpy more times than not.
Tear you apart.
Okay, what do we do here? I think I want to play this. It's just as a 5/5.
I wonder.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm gonna make a dagger, and I'm gonna swing at her face because I'm almost certainly gonna replace this weapon, Perdition's Blade or an Assassin's Blade. God damn it, the blizzard. She had to have the blizzard. She had to have the blizzard. One turn away from Flame Strike, but she had the blizzard. Sigh. What else could this have been? I remember it was a good pack. I remember wrestling with it. I probably should have taken something else. I'm running into too many weapons too often.
What to do?
I mean, I only have one of these, and I only have one of these. I don't know. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Fireball. And she has enough mana still to kill this. I have just weapons. I might be able to burn her out. This is 12 damage, and this is like 4 or 5 damage total. 6 if it's comboed. So this is like 18 damage. It's just going to take like 6 turns to deal all that damage. And my opponent with 6 cards will probably be able to kill me before I can actually pull that off. But I think it's my best hope. Ah, questing adventure. Well, we'll play it. What do we do first? The Perdition's Blade or the Assassin's Blade? Well, let's do the Perdition's... no, I can't do that. Let's do the Perdition's Blade first. I guess it runs out faster.
Here we go.
Instruction begins.
So that is our strategy. We are trying to burn the opponent out. Maybe the Assassin's Blade... I guess I should have counted what deals damage quicker. This deals 6 damage in 2 turns. This also deals 6 damage in 2 turns. Oh, crap. That's not good. That is the opposite of good. Oh, geez. I have to trade away both my creatures. Oh, no! I should have played Perdition's Blade second. Shit. If I'd played Perdition's Blade second, I could have comboed out. If I played Assassin's Blade last turn, I could combo out Perdition's Blade this turn. I guess they would have sucked to waste the Assassin's Blade like that. God damn it.
So many
Am I going to really play a Kidnapper without the combo? Just to make this a 4/4? Well, as a 4/4, it's still not good enough. Damn it.
Here we go.
I hate my life. Alright, I'm going to pass the turn. The mage has 7 cards, which is a little scary to my 1 card. She has a taunt in the way that I can't kill. Ugh. So is the deck bad, or did I just happen to have 2 games where I got really bad draws? I mean, it's possible that that's what happened. It's always possible. No matter how good your deck is, you could potentially get 2 bad draws. Is it likely? I don't know. I feel like I just got a bad draw here with both of these weapons. And then my opponent, of course, having Blizzard. So that priest had Holy Nova at the right time, and then the mage had Blizzard at the right time. That's just how it goes, I suppose. It's not over yet, though. So if I can just combo out this Kidnapper, I have to waste a backstab. It's really not exactly ideal. And I can't... God damn it, I wish I could deal damage to damaged minions with this backstab. So I'd like to kill this, kidnap her that, but no. I have to do this. Stab this. And then awkwardly kidnap it
Instruction begins.
and swing. I never got any eviscerates in this draft, so I don't have any source of like really good direct damage, unfortunately. And a flame strike kills everything I have. Now what's interesting is that this weapon has 9 damage on it, so it actually has enough damage to kill the mage, but it takes 3 turns. Because in 2 turns I only deal 6, sadly. If she has any taunt or anything like, or just, you know, can deal 14 damage real quick. Because which she could, by the way, with like fireballs and pyroblasts. She could easily actually deal damage to me faster than I could deal it to her. Although, not while also killing off my creatures. Polymorph. Well, still a sheep. Secret. Oh my god, if that's actually an ice armor, I'm gonna be... God, shut up, you ass. If that's actually an ice armor, I'm in really big trouble. Let's see if it's vaporize. Well, it's not vaporize. Or ice armor. Is it ice block? Oh, should I have attacked with my sheep last? Oh no, I just win. Wow. Wow. I don't know how I won that game. I guess, I mean, I know how I won it. My opponent had terrible cards. That is how I won it. The only way I could have possibly won from that situation, with her having that many extra cards against me and being a mage, is if she either had a really bad, had a really bad draft, which can happen even to mages, where she just didn't see good cards. It's possible that she just didn't draft good cards, or it's possible she just didn't draw good cards. Now, I'm going to give myself a pro play point in that game, folks. I know that there was a questionable play where I ran the Defias Ringleader into the Water Elemental for reasons mysterious. But I'm going to give myself a pro play point for wasting the backstab on the Water Elemental so I could kidnap it. I played to my outs and it worked. Alright, Ooze. Do I keep it against a hunter? Well, they do have a rare weapon, which is rare, but if they saw it, they would have taken it. Plus, it's a 2-drop, so I'll keep it. We'll keep that. We'll keep the Britishion's Blade. Sad that I'm not second. That Violet Teacher likes to show up. I believe I only have one of them. So this is actually a pretty good curve. Let's see what my opponent does. I can play Ooze. And then Persian's Blade, kill whatever he plays on turn 3. And then the Violet Teacher. He has the... Oh, yeah, he doesn't... Okay, good. I was hoping he didn't have a turn 1 play with the coin. That would improve my odds substantially. Yep, I'm not gonna play around. Eagle Hornbow. If he coins it out right now, then so be it. Them's just the breaks. I think playing around him having Eagle Hornbow is going to lose you more games than it wins you. Alright, so 1 for 1. It's fine. Ah, here comes the coin. So now he has a 2-drop. Interesting. Fairy Dragon. Well, I can't backstab it, which is funny. This just seems like a waste, but this seems fine.
Here we go.
So I'm gonna shoot my opponent and kill that fairy dragon dead. Suck a dog. Suck a dog. So he's used his coin, which is nice. I haven't fallen behind on cards unless he plays an Ooze.
For the crusade!
That is not going to make me fall behind on cards, actually. So, I can make a questing adventure, backstab this Pop Divine Shield, kill it with my weapon. This is a 3/3. Another option, I can play the Violet Teacher, backstab it, and make a 1/1, kill it with my weapon, have a 1/1. What's better? Start to grow the questing adventure. The questing adventure is a 3/3, it'll become a 4/4, maybe a 5/5 if I have something to backstab. The Violet Teacher makes a 1/1, so it uses up more of my mana. I think I'm going to do this.
Attention, class.
Uses up more of my mana. It gives me a 1/1, which is a guard against deadly shots and multi-shots. And I can still grow the questing adventure in the future by playing it and backstab. Alright, that buzzard's probably going to get backstab. Oh yeah, okay, so it's really important that I backstab this buzzard. Really, really important, because if that is a snake trap, I don't want him getting 3 cards. So we'll play the questing adventure, see if it's a snipe. Nope. We'll backstab the buzzard. Now, he wouldn't have played a freezing trap here. That would be silly, so it's probably an explosive trap. Maybe I should have attacked him first. Ah, I should have done that. If this is it is probably an explosive trap. Crap! So what I should have done is I should have attacked past the buzzard first, triggered the explosive trap, and then backstabbed it, getting a 1-1. Now I'm robbing myself of a 1-1. Oh, it's not that. What? Wait, what is it? Hold on. It's not freezing trap, it's not explosive trap, it's not snipe, it's not misdirection. Oh my god, it is a snake trap. Huh. I'll be.
Here we go.
I'll be. So if I draw one of my 2 deadly poisons, I'll be sad that I wasted a tick. But if I don't draw them, I'm going to be happy that I'm getting damage on my opponent. This backstab's nice. I could potentially trigger a kidnapper. That has to be a snake trap. That is what it is. It is a snake trap. Yep, I know that for a fact. Okay, good to know. So you can't avoid hitting your opponent's minions forever. But I'll do it for as long as I can. Okay, so that backstab was nice, because it let me combo this kidnapper. And now, I'm safe. I can just attack him.
Here we go.
Instruction begins.
And he's gonna concede. Alright. Oh, he says sorry for conceding prematurely. No problem, sir. I'm happy to take a win. Wow, we're at 5-1. Like I told you, man. I told you this was a good deck. That priest game was just unrepresentative. Although, granted, that mage game, I probably have no idea by what a hair's breadth I survived. Who knows what kinds of terrifying things were in that mage's deck that she just never drew, or that she could have drafted, but never saw in the draft, and that enabled me to pull off that win when I was like 7 cards behind. Alright, the kidnapper was good though. What could that have been, a sea giant? Oh, hard to say what would have been better. I guess I'm happy I got the kidnapper there. Wally the... You gotta be kidding me. Wally the Warlock? Really? Okay. We're gonna send back the questing adventure. I know it worked out really well that game, but in general, it's a really touchy thing to keep around. What I want is a Defias Ringleader so I can combo this backstab. No such luck. Well, the good news is backstab will kill off any flame imps. The bad news is I don't have any fan of knives. I never saw one in the draft, so blood imps will live. Bloodsail Raider. Oh, that's a really frustrating card to deal with. I can't backstab it. Well, we're gonna have to dagger up and pass the turn. So the plan is to next turn put Deadly Poison on this dagger and kill the Bloodsail Raider. Sadly, then I have nothing to do with my 2 mana, which is a bit unfortunate. I could backstab that. That's something to do. Betrayal. Interesting. Man, I have all these 3-drops. Okay, so I could play Flesh-Eating Ghoul. I could backstab this Raptor. This is a 3-3 then? Holds up, technically speaking, against the 2-3, but then if you play Shattered Sun Cleric, things get a little ugly. Even though it's a bit more passive, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to Deadly Poison. I will kill this thing. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to actually do a little bit of a tricky move. I'm actually going to use Betrayal to kill this Raptor. Betrayal actually is the one card that I have in my deck that will kill Blood Imps. But I think Backstab is in general more valuable, so I'm going to hold on to it. I mean, that could totally bite me. I mean, you could play like 2 4/4s and a Betrayal would kill one of them. But, yeah, I just feel like in general Backstab is generally going to be more valuable, especially because I have some combo cards in here like the Defias Ringleader. I think keeping it around, especially because I'm up against a Warlock with all these cheap stuff that he has, it's better to, you know, use the mana since I was going to waste the mana anyway on Betrayal than to spend the Backstab.
Time for a little blood.
Flame Imp. Well, keeping the Backstab ended up working out for me, because what I get to do now is play a Flesh-Eating Ghoul, and then go on a killing spree. We're going to kill this Flame Imp, Backstab. We're going to kill the Berserker with the other tick of my weapon, so we have a 4-3 here. Shadow Bolt, of course, will take care of ye old business. But if he doesn't have Shadow Bolt, then next turn I can play a Golem or a Shattered Sun Cleric as appropriate. And, yeah, be in pretty good shape. What I'm going to do is Shattered Sun Cleric
Lens the sun well.
and Dagger. So we'll do this. Now you might think, well, Boris, why are you doing that? The flesh-eating ghoul was gonna survive anyway.
We go.
And you might already know the answer, actually. I am role-playing you as a schizophrenic viewer. Like, Boris, why are you doing that? Well, actually, the answer is... Anyway, you might know the answer, and the answer is that I don't want to play into Mortal Coil. I don't want him to have 1 mana, kill the flesh-eating ghoul, draw a card. So I wanted it to stay at 2 health. Drain Life turned out to be rather the perfect answer there. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. Violet Teacher. Ah, that's a good drop. So we're going to do this.
Pay attention, class.
Yep, we're going to do this. And I'm going to take a moment to actually kill this thing. I don't want him putting Dark Iron Dwarf for power overwhelming or anything on it, so we're just going to clear out the board. Hellfire would be pretty decent for him. It would be 2/3 of his mana, but the Violet Teacher would live, everything else would die. We'd both go down to 2 cards. He could draw another one. Oh wow, we're in the end game, aren't we? Can I actually kill that thing with just these Murlocs? Now that I drew the Dark Iron Dwarf. I mean, I have 7 mana. For once, I have as much mana as I want. This is 2/3 damage, 4/5 damage. It's actually 6/7 damage. Yep, we can do it, and we will do it. So we're gonna do this, this, and I'm actually starting to put damage on him, which is nice. I'm at fairly low life actually for all the creatures I hit with my weapon, and I'm all caught up now. So Hellfire doesn't really quite do it. All he kills is the Raid Leader and the Shattered Sun Cleric. Still might be worth playing though. Otherwise. Because basically the Raid Leader's adding 3 damage to everything, and the Shattered Sun Cleric's adding 4 damage. Oh no! Does he have a Mortal Coil to back it up? He doesn't have the Mortal Coil! It's my lucky day. Alright, do I kill this thing? I could dagger up, use the Dwarf and the dagger to kill it, going down to 14 health. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth doing. The alternative was to race, but I don't like to race when I'm ahead. I'd rather race when I'm behind. So 14 is still above the point when I could die. And I was going to get hit for 6 potentially anyway. Like, if he has the kill, he was going to hit me no matter what. So this way, I got to preserve my Raid Leader, who's adding a lot of damage to the party. And we have a lot of vulnerable creatures, but we also have the Wind. That is actually a very maddening 5 health. Actually, no, what? You know, 5 health wasn't maddening. 6 health is maddening. Because 5 health, I could have used the Violet Teacher plus the dagger, but it doesn't matter now because I drew Assassinate. Boop boop. That is Papa Boris' song of I just top decked the card that I needed to win the game. Alright, good game. I didn't have a particularly aggressive start, but I had that thing that rogues have. Wally the Warlock. Oh god. I had Backstab. And I'm gonna give myself another pro player point there. I think some people would not have seen to use Betrayal rather than Backstab to get the kill on that turn. And it ended up being absolutely clutch, because then on a later turn I wouldn't have had enough mana to cast Betrayal to kill off that Flame Imp and protect my Flesh-Eating Ghoul. So little things make a big difference, and I'm going to give myself a pro player point. And if you're thinking, oh, boys, you got your head so far up your ass, what are you giving yourself pro points? Who do you think you are? You sucky noob. Well then, so be it. You can think that. Up against another mage, Patches the Mage. The only class to beat us this arena was a priest. This I would keep against any other class except for mage. This is speculative, so I don't want to keep that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get our Defiance Ringleader. That worked pretty well against the last mage. It didn't actually work very well at all. I just won a really dumb game for no reason. But it was nice to have. It gave me a little bit of an edge that, without which I probably would have lost. No Defiance Ringleader, sadly. Nothing to coin out. We're going to pass the turn. I might actually coin out a Golem next turn just to put something on the board. We'll see.
Like my invention.
Yeah, I think I'll do it, depending on what I draw here. Ah, finally! So now I'm going to Backstab this. And Defiance Ringleader that. Now, that was definitely a loose Backstab. It's the Novice Engineer is not like the greatest creature. But again, it's got some meat behind it, because now she's tempted to use her whole turn just to kill that one of my creatures, and I get to keep on playing stuff.
You're looking at me.
I still have the coin somehow, which is interesting. So that means I can actually use it next turn to coin out the Frostwolf Warlord, which if these creatures live will be a 6/6.
Let the pain speak to me.
What I really want is a buff. And, okay, we're going to have to hold off on that Frostwolf Warlord. I really don't want this Acolyte. to draw 2 cards. So this way I'm only letting my opponent draw 1 card off of it. So it's no different than a loot hoarder, basically. It's a loot hoarder that didn't hit me as hard, which I'm fine with. So it's like a novice engineer that cost an extra mana. That's what it was. So now I really wanted to play like one big creature, like a Fen Creeper. Ah, Stampeding Kodo. I don't want to. Oh shit! I don't want to. What I was gonna say is I wanted to coin out the Kidnapper, but the problem is I don't actually want this going back into her hand. I want this to die. The Frostwolf Warlord is a bit of a problem because actually, yeah, it's fine. We'll do it. 6/6. That's big enough. We'll trade this Golem, which dies to the Mage's hero ability, and the rest of this Deadly Poison Dagger to kill off that Kodo. And this Defiance Ringleader came just in time. Can you imagine if I hadn't gotten that on turn 2? Oh man, it would have been a totally different game. There's the Fireball. Oh, that's most of her turn. That's okay.
I hope you like
And
my
another Novice Engineer. Man, she has a lot of these Novice Engineers. Okay, so here's the thing. If I kill it with my Defiance Ringleader, he'll just die. We're at the point with 7 mana where she's likely to have mana left over. I could Shiv and Dagger, and then that's 4 mana, leaving me with 2, which is not enough to play this even with the coin. Sad.
So many.
I could do this, and I could conceal. Or I could coin out this Perdition's Blade. I think I'm actually going to do this. Let's coin out the Perdition's Blade.
I'm ready to learn.
Shoot that thing dead. I'm gonna hang on to my weapon. I think it can have more value for me, especially because I got a Shiv plus the weapon. I can deal 3 damage to something, which might be useful. And then next turn, if need be, I can conceal and then kidnap. So if she plays like a big taunt or something.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Well, that was a pretty good move of my opponent because now I actually boy. Damn it, I can't do the Shiv trick to kill this anymore. So what I might do is just conceal my stuff and then play Kidnapper. So the question is, do I hit the Shattered Sun Cleric with the Violet Teacher? The issue is that if she has like a Flame Strike, it'll kill the Kidnapper and the Violet Teacher if the Violet Teacher's been damaged. So I'm going to make a rather interesting decision here. I'm actually going to attack past everything that my opponent has.
Instruction
I
begins.
shall do as you say.
I'm going to then conceal my minions.
I'm ready to learn.
Now, the drawback of the play that I made is that the Shattered Sun Cleric can now trade with the Kidnapper.
Here we go.
However, she doesn't have a Flame Strike right now, or a Blizzard. Then I have quite a bit of damage. I've got 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, 10, and then I've got the dagger dealing a damage a turn. God damn it, Blizzard! Ah! Second one in a row, no less. In Hero. God darn it. Well, let's play the Novice Engineer, because you should always draw cards first. Backstab. Well, I don't really need to use Backstab. Or do I? I could play the Spiteful Smith, and I could Backstab it. And then deal 4 damage. No, that's... I want to save that in my back pocket. What I want to do is I want to kill off this Raging Worgen. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Well... If I Shiv and the principle of always draw cards first, then it will get enraged and hit me for an extra point of damage. So how much do I value seeing what card is coming next? Not enough.
Here we go.
So we're going to hit this for 2. Going to Shiv it to death.
I'm ready.
1. Gurbashi Berserker. Balls. Would I have played that instead of... Yeah, no. Okay, and let's go ahead and remake the dagger, I suppose. This is no point in backstabbing, we'll pass the turn. So a Flame Strike probably just wins my opponent the game, it's just too much card advantage. But, if she doesn't have a Flame Strike right now, I might be able to hang in there. Frostbolt, okay, no Flame Strike. If she had a Flame Strike, she wouldn't have played that. She's gonna get to kill the Kidnapper. Okay. She's also going to get to kill off my Novice Engineer with the Shattered Sun Cleric. So I'm 12 turns away from killing her with the Wicked Knife, which is a bit too slow. She drew cards after doing stuff. I wouldn't have done that. I would have drawn cards first there, because with all the cards and all the things that mages can do, it might have changed what she does. Kurabashi Berserker. Man, I just hate the fact that if my opponent has a Stampeding Kodo, I lose the game. Alright, I could play this. And one of these two 5-drops. It's a 3/3. I mean, I guess that's better than not playing him, so sure. We'll do this, and... which one of these makes... I'm going to do this! Simply because I don't want to expose myself to Stampeding Kodo if I don't have to. I can actually kill that Shattered Sun Claire. And I will do so. I didn't backstab it, because backstab deals only damage to undamaged minions. So now I've got a pretty beefy thing here, although my opponent has 8 cards, so these mages have a way of getting massive card advantage against me. The Frostbolt's going to nip the Questing Adventurer in the bud. And the Frost Elemental's going to freeze that. So she can actually kill it. God, that's so important that she gets to... God damn it. It's so important that she got to freeze this, because 4 damage would have made like all the difference in the universe there. Assassinate. I'm going to do this. I am going to do this. I'm going to play Kurabashi Berserker, and I will, in fact, assassinate that. And the reason why is that it protects my Spiteful Smith. So, she might have like a Sunwalker, and I'll really regret doing that, but I figured it was worth it. So now, backstabbing this to trigger Enrage ups the damage by 3. I can deal 9 damage, 10 damage if it doesn't have any taunt or removal. Blizzard. God damn it! Ah, freezing. Shit. And she has her own Kurabashi Berserker. Ah, stupid freezing nonsense. Well, the good news about that is that it means that this Spiteful Smith actually is on. And I get to swing for 5 damage here. So, I presume she's going to kill off the Spiteful Smith now. Somehow. And then I can still hit for 3 damage because there's the deadly poison on it, so she's down to 3. Then I'm 3 turns away from killing her. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, that's a Flame Strike incoming. God damn it. Ugh. Well, Backstab is all of a sudden a very bad card, and I mean, my opponent's going to get to kill me before I get to kill her, because what's happening here is that she can start to enrage with Kurabashi Berserker. 3 turns is basically an eternity. I'm going to play the Raid Leader, and the reason for that is quite simply that if she takes the time to kill this, that's 1 time she's not hitting me for 5 damage. So she hits me for 5, I hit her for 1, she hits me for 8, I mean, and I hit her down to nothing. Mad Bomber, she's going to hope that it enrages this Kurabashi. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god. My opponent could have just like lost the game right there if the Bomber had just like hit her even twice. But no, it had to hit my Raid Leader twice. God, this is ridiculous. Well, I don't think I actually have any outs anymore. I don't have any charge creatures. Yeah, it's just not good enough. Well, I'm gonna go out in style. But that was bullshit. Fucking Mad Bomber. Yep, it hit the Raid Leader twice. If it had hit her twice instead of hitting the Raid Leader twice, I would have just won. So it all came down to the Mad Bomber there. Well, yeah, I'm just going to call big old bullshit on that, but at the same time, my opponent made the decision to draft a Mad Bomber, and she made the decision to play it there, and when she does that, then sometimes she will lose games because of it, and that time she won a game because of it, and that's how Hearthstone works. So it just kind of sucks that that happened when I was at 6 wins in the arena. That's sort of like the worst time for that kind of thing to happen. God, could I please play someone who's not a mage? Oh, man. Ugh, these mages. Like, any one of those, like, if she just, she played 2 Blizzards against me, didn't she? Yeah, she played 2 Blizzards. If she had even played just 1 Blizzard, I would have been totally fine. But no, she had to play 2 Blizzards. Ah, god damn it. Ah, mages. Man, they're Blizzards. Well, the backstab's nice. It means I can play a Questing Adventurer, potentially backstab whatever she played that turn. And, it's a 3/3, so Frostbolt still kills it, but at least, like a 1-power creature and hero ability does not. Raw Lord, I think we've played against this person before, because I remember making fun of his name. Yes, he's the Lord of Sushi. We've definitely played this person before. Raw Lord. Lord of the Sushi. Alright, the coin's going to buff up the Mana Worm. She's going to make a 3-drop here. Shatter Sun Cleric. Oh, God. This game is already going to the dogs. Jesus Christ. I'll make a dagger.
Here
Kill
we
off this mana worm before it gets any worse. And we'll pass the turn. So I could backstab this in preparation, in anticipation of killing it next turn, but there's no reason to do that just yet. We'll go ahead and make a questing adventure next turn, then backstab this thing, kill it. Okay, well, that sort of sucks because Fairy Dragon's going to get to kill the questing adventure. Is there anything better? I could make these. And the hero ability will pick it off. Yeah, we'll just play this. That seems fine.
Give me a quest.
Here we go.
Oh my god. I don't have a good feeling about this game. I don't have a good feeling about this game. Couldn't get an advantage in the opening. That's our best time for this deck. The longer the game goes, the more ridiculous things get. How many Fairy Dragons does a man need? Oh, Jesus Christ. This opponent has a very aggressive deck. It is just outrageously aggressive. Okay, I see what you're doing here. We'll play the Murloc Tidehunter. And I am going to buff
Cleanse the Sunwell.
this thing. Now, the reason I'm buffing this one is that if I buffed this one, then my opponent could kill off that thing. And then, well, actually, I guess it's all the same, isn't it? Maybe I messed up there. I don't know. I think I got razzled bedazzled by my own bad logic. But anyway, it's all fine because I should basically be able to trade off against his creatures. Okay, so she's actually going all the way for the face, which might be very legit here. Unfortunately, I can only kill 2 of her creatures here. So my main hope is that she respects this enough to kill it. If she actually attacks me right now with this Bloodfen Raptor, what it means is she's holding on to 2 fireballs and is going to win the game. Oh god, that's a bad sign. Well, shit. Alright, we're gonna have to take desperate measures here. I'm gonna backstab this. And I'm actually gonna play the Kidnapper. If she has a Flame Strike, she just wins the game. But, my opponent had a super aggressive start. She has the Flame Strike. God damn it. Well, at least that was her whole turn.
Pay attention, class.
I'm gonna hold on to the Perdition's Blade, and the reason for that is I do actually need it to, like, potentially kill her creatures with. The issue is that she just outraces me. Raw Lord, Lord of Sushi.
Well played.
Are you serious? This is... I'm gonna say it here, folks. I'm gonna say that both those games against mages were complete and utter bullshit. Don't be fooled by me saying well played. It was total bullshit. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. The game that I won against the mage was the one that I should have lost, and then the 2 games that I lost, I should have won. I mean, just statistically speaking. That was a load of horse crap. So anyway, this was a bit of a depressing arena. I had an amazing deck, but I lost a game to a priest to a bad draw, and I lost some bullshit games against mages. That sucks, but that's what happens. At least we're up to 6 wins, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and or subscribe. And here is Papa Boris's Happy Fun Time bonus hour. And it's a pretty good one. This is 90, 100, 115. That does stem a lot of the bleeding. Let's take a look at our pack. I don't think that's anything new. Actually, that's a lot. Oh, the rare is new. What was the rare? We'll take a look at it now. What was the new rare? Oh, I think this is Golden Fan of Knives. Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Yeah. Light Warden. I almost want to disenchant it because it's so bad, but whatever. We'll keep it. Let's take a sneak peek at our next arena. It's going to be Rogue, Warlock, Paladin. Oh, God. I just played Rogue, and these are not my favorite classes. Warlock, well, you've always seen me struggle with Warlock, and Paladin, I've moved it back to middle tier. It just hasn't been working for me lately, but we'll see what it is. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Till then.